أمريكا تتحمل مسؤولية هذا الاستهداف.
For a very long time, Americans have trusted their system of government enough that they abide by its outcomes, even though they may disagree with them. Only once in American history do we see a disaster. It happened, and it happened in 1861. It showed how Americans can express their distrust of the system. The system did really break down. It went into chaos mode. America broke out into a civil war. Typically, when an election is over, the peaceful transition of power reminds the public that their allegiance is not towards a particular person, but towards a system of government.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
5 weeks after the bitterly contested elections of 2000, and just one day after the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 in favor of George W. Bush, Al Gore graciously declared,
"Now the U.S. Supreme Court has spoken. Let there be no doubt, while I strongly disagree with the court's decision, I accept it. I accept the finality of this outcome, which will be ratified next Monday in the Electoral College. And tonight, for the sake of our unity as a people and the strength of our democracy, I offer my concession. I also accept my responsibility, which I will discharge unconditionally, to honor the new president-elect and do everything possible to help him bring Americans together in fulfillment of the great vision that our Declaration of Independence defines and that our Constitution affirms and defends."
19 years on, we're still debating who really won the 2000 elections in the US. Was it Al Gore or was it Bush? This so-called democratic system is certainly rigged, and it's rigged against the American public.
We will hold this government to account for their incompetence.
Today I am taking historic action to promote Israel's ability to defend itself and really to have a very powerful, very strong national security, which they're entitled to have.
The United States is now headed by Donald Trump, someone pathologically incapable of admitting defeat. This doesn't go too well for the 2020 presidential elections. Trump is purposely shoving Israeli and Saudi relationship in our faces, causing issues in Venezuela. The good people of America know this quite well, and they aren't too happy about it. But the question is, will they do anything about it come 2020? And if they do, will the secret establishment, or deep state, as many like to call it, listen? If we go back earlier this month, Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's former personal lawyer, said,
"To answer the committee's questions truthfully and to offer the American people what I know about President Trump, because I know what Mr. Trump is. He is a racist, he is a con man, and he is a cheat." Mr. Trump knew of and directed the Trump-Moscow negotiations throughout the campaign and lied about it. He lied about it because he never expected to win. He also lied about it because he stood to make hundreds of millions of dollars on the Moscow real estate project. He asked me to pay off an adult film star with whom he had an affair and to lie about it to his wife, which I did. I am providing a copy of a $35,000 check that President Trump personally signed from his personal bank account on August 1st of 2017, when he was President of the United States, to reimburse me, the word used by Mr. Trump's TV lawyer, for the illegal hush money I paid on his behalf. Mr. Trump is a racist. The country has seen Mr. Trump court white supremacists and bigots. You have heard him call poorer countries shitholes. In private, he is even worse. He once asked me if I could name a country run by a black person that wasn't a shithole. This was when Barack Obama was president of the United States. And while we were once driving through a struggling neighborhood in Chicago, he commented that only black people could live that way. And he told me that black people would never vote for him because they were too stupid. A lot of people have asked me about whether Mr. Trump knew about the release of the hacked documents, the Democratic National Committee emails, ahead of time. And the answer is yes. In July of 2016, days before the Democratic Convention, I was in Mr. Trump's office when his secretary announced that Roger Stone was on the phone. Mr. Trump put Mr. Stone on the speakerphone. Mr. Stone told Mr. Trump that he had just gotten off the phone with Julian Assange, and that Mr. Assange told Mr. Stone that within a couple of days, there would be a massive dump of emails that would damage Hillary Clinton's campaign. Mr. Trump responded by stating to the effect, "Wouldn't that be great?" Donald Trump is a man who ran for office to make his brand great, not to make our country great.
It's quite plausible and persuasive that Trump is going to lose the 2020 elections. However, he's not going to step down too quickly. He's playing everyone, especially the evangelical Christians in America, who seem to believe he's ushering in the end times and he's some sort of messiah of the end of days.
The Supreme Court would do a great favor to this country if they would say the president should not have done that.
Every single time Donald Trump has lost a legislative or legal battle during his presidency, he's always blamed the other side. He's lashed back, shutting the government, declaring a national emergency, whipping up his followers against judges, Democrats, the media. Now imagine it's November 2020. Trump has lost the elections. He's going to charge for voter fraud. He's going to claim the deep state organized tens and millions of illegal immigrants to vote against him. And he's going to say he's got no obligations to step down. Only this time, he's already president with all the powers a president commands. America is certainly heading for disaster.
في خطأ موجود بالعالم العربي بموضوع علاقات إسرائيل وأمريكا، ومنرجع منعيد ومنرجع منكرر، وهاي اسمح لي أقول لك أكذوبة اللوبي الصهيوني. وأن اليهود هم حاكمين أمريكا وهن بياخدوا القرار وهن عاملين وهن مساويين ومشاكل. لا، أمريكا هي صاحبة القرار. بأمريكا في شركات كبرى، في مثلث ثالوث، شركات النفط، شركات السلاح، وما يسمى بالصهيونية المسيحية، هم أصحاب القرار. هذا التحالف. إسرائيل كانت في الماضي أداة بريطانية